Volume, so it won't be. All right. This is your boy Daniel Lionston Evans here once again, and we are live inside the den. And this is our weekly Wisdom Wednesdays. Weekly Wisdom Wednesdays, where we talk about the book Think and Grow Rich. And as always, I have Tommy here. He is my co-host. And we get, I think somebody trying to come live on here. And is here. Come on, Pam. Come on, Pam. There you go. There goes my girl. All right. I got you on here. You got to speak up, Pam, because I'm way over here. But anyway, so Weekly Wisdom Wednesdays, we are live and we are talking about the book Think and Grow Rich. We are on chapter 3. For those of y'all who are just joining us, this is a book that was written by Napoleon Hill. What year was it written? Like 1920 something?
1904. Hold on, let me go back to the preface. Or preface, whatever have you. 1937.
1937 by Napoleon Hill, and he has a bunch of principles that he uses to just be successful in life, be successful in business, things like that. And we've been going over this book, Think and Grow Rich, because I feel like that in order to be better, we got to do better. I am not a heavy book reader, so it has been definitely a challenge to be able to take out the time and invest in yourself. In order to be successful, you have to first invest in yourself. And by investing in yourself, take time to read books, take time to invest in your craft, what you're trying to do. The millionaires, the billionaires of the world, I think they read like 12 to 15 books a year. And because that's where we are going in life, as a team, as a whole, I challenge my whole staff and all my mentees to actually grab a book. So reading it. And so we're reading the book, Think and Grow Rich. And we're going to be breaking down the chapters every week on Wednesday mornings between 9:30 and 10, things like that. And so we are on chapter 3. If you all are just joining us, chapter 1 was pretty much like the introduction chapter. Chapter 2 was about desire, which was the first principle of the 13. And then so we find ourselves at chapter 3, which is a chapter about faith. So before we get started, I just wanted to, kind of go over a few things and just ask a question. This is a question that anybody can answer. We have our own twist and our own understanding about faith as it relates to the secular world and how faith as it pertains to the spiritual world. So what do you think, what is faith to you? What do you think faith is?
I do believe faith is a unconditional belief or mindset. It could be applied in many ways, like you said, both secular and spiritual. However, I feel that spiritually, faith is, of course, that believing in God and that omnipotent being the one who gave us life. But then we have faith in the secular motion, in the physical realm of I have faith, or you are going to believe that something will be accomplished by your doing.
So the belief that you will do, that you will accomplish something.
Yes, sir.
That's what faith is to you.
Physically.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Spiritually, what is faith?
Spiritually, faith is the unconditional belief in the Most High and the unconditional belief in the Most High, and that He is, how do you say, He has you on a route. You got many ways to go on that route, but he has you on one specific route. And my belief, and yeah, what my me having faith is that that route is not to set me for my destruction, rather for my my game. I can't use I can't find the word I'm looking for, but it's not for my detriment.
Okay. Pam, what do you think faith is to you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that kind of goes, what she said kind of goes with the whole concept of think and grow rich. You know what I mean? Thinking something that you can't see and making it happen. So, and this was a chapter that, this is a really fun chapter because you get to experience, the word faith in a different point of view. We have the spiritual realm, and that's kind of why I like to, define my faith in spiritually versus faith from a practical realm of when you're trying to pursue things like money. And this is, as they describe faith in chapter 3, they describe faith as a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instruction to the subconscious mind through the principle of auto suggestion. So basically what they're saying is faith is a state of mind in which you repeat to yourself inside your mind things, and your subconscious mind has an auto suggestion that you're going to believe what you think. And that's how they describe faith. They also describe faith as having faith is when you conduct yourself just as you would if you already in possession of the material thing which you are shooting for. And when I read that, I can relate to that because from the spiritual standpoint, Romans 4:17 says that call those things which be not as though they were, meaning that you have to operate in the future as if it's right now.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna elaborate. I'll put my book down because I can elaborate on that. Is when you call something out your mouth, like Pam just said, you call it out your mouth and you don't have the evidence of it being there, but you walk it out. The young boys say, walk it out, walk it out. So when you walk something out that hasn't happened yet, you're operating in extreme faith because if I was to tell you that, okay, here's a prime example. I haven't made it there yet, but eventually I'm going to be full-time motivational speaker. I'm going to be doing all these different things. So what I did was I purposely went and got some suits tailored to a certain size, certain weight, so that I won't deter from what I'm trying to do.
Yes, sir.
I haven't even made it there yet, but I'm already getting stuff done and getting stuff act like I'm already there. Because when you do that, that's when things happen. Now, probably 6 months ago, I started calling myself a life coach. I added that to my business card. That was 6 months ago. And so when I deal with people on that level, I announced myself as this certain thing.
Yes.
And so 2 weeks ago, I just got certified to be a life coach. So me calling it out and me walking it out and me imitating that thing as if it's already there. That's what Romans 4:17 said, call those things that are not as if they were. Before you got married, I tell you to start calling yourself married so you can actually already be there.
Yes, sir.
And even right now, we having these meetings, we having these this podcast, these different things. We're already setting the tone for where we want to be in the future.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
I agree wholeheartedly.
You have to operate in a sense of I have already arrived, even to the point where and this is another thing. I'm getting ready to change my middle name.
Yeah.
From Lamont to Lions Den. I want to make that change so that when you call me by my name, you're calling me by what I'm supposed to be here
Your
by.
actual name. Yeah.
So doing all that type of stuff, calling things that are not as if they are, I'm already calling myself what? Daniel Lyons and Evans. I'm calling it before it happens. And the faith that we have in ourselves is that when we think things, we can manifest them by not only thinking it, but speaking it. Speaking it is the activation that makes that thought come to reality. We talked about last week reading your goals out loud. The reason why you read them out loud because that verbalness is what that activates.
Right, but
activates your thoughts.
We can't forget about and what I love is it activates it. But the thing that comes behind it is the willingness to do what you just spoke into existence.
Yes,
the willingness to actually act on those words, because you can act just like if you can cut on a TV, but if you never push a button on the remote, that channel ain't gonna change.
That's true.
So I love these conversations because it makes us. It brings it full circle. Like we gotta speak it into existence, but we also need to practically act on what we spoke into existence in order to make sure we see it through.
Yes. What's your thoughts, Pam?
Mm-hmm.
And continuously, just like I said, just thinking about it and just repeating it out loud and over again. Because you believe in it yourself in order to believe.
Mm-hmm.
You have to.
Yeah.
And that's why I love to say for repetition, we said this last week, or I think the week before, repetition is very vital because practice doesn't make perfect, it makes permanent. So whatever actions you're speaking on, or whatever thing you're repeating, make sure you're repeating it and doing it in repetition the correct way. Because whatever way you do it in repetition is the way it's going to come out. That's why practice makes permanent.
Yes. All right. So I'm going to read the definition that they said, like I said, as a state of mind which may be induced or created by affirmation or repeated instruction for subconscious mind through the principle of autosuggestion. Now, this is the secular, worldly definition of faith as it pertains to, business and how they set up their business modules and their, everybody has a person they listen to every day for motivation and things like that. When I was in the sales world, I would listen to Zig Ziglar, I would listen to Les Brown, I would listen to all these different people, Icky Woods, and these people would come up with these sayings and come up with these chants that they say every day in the mirror, or they listen to it on their way to work and all that kind of stuff. But as it pertains to spiritual and what the word says about faith, Hebrews 11:1 says that now faith, not now, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's now faith, like right now faith, not yesterday's faith, not 2 weeks ago faith, but now faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. Now, when you break that down, substance of things hoped for, that's what your dream and your goal is, the hope for things. Evidence of things not seen, meaning that I've never seen it, but I hope that the substance of what I'm hoping for is relevant, meaning that we have to be able to see that thing clear as day
Mm-hmm.
before it even shows up. Understand you talked about a TV earlier,
Mm-hmm.
and that TV, when you turn it off, it doesn't have a picture, does it?
No.
Does it have signals going back and forth?
No, because there's no power.
But when you turn that picture on, you want to be able to. So can you see the TV, a picture, before you turn it on?
No.
In your mind, if you look at that TV, you say, "Oh, I want to watch that movie. I can see that movie."
Well, yeah, then yeah, absolutely.
So when you turn it on, you can actually see it.
You won't be able to unless it's on that specific channel.
Yeah, when you find a movie.
Yeah.
So when you're actually watching the show on TV,
Mm-hmm.
you can actually see it before it come on in your mind. All you gotta do is activate your faith by turning the TV on and being able to see it. Like you got something to say.
I do, because it's because you hitting it right on the head. And what's crazy is that's this exact same thing. It's the exact, like, it's the state of mind which is induced or created. So in order for you to have that faith, you have to create it, or it has to be induced by something otherworldly.
Yes. So with that being said, faith is the substance of things hoped for.
Mm-hmm. And unseen. Yes, sir.
Evidence of things not seen. A lot of people, now I will tell you this personally, that there is a fine line between faith and foolishness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Evidence of things not seen, substance of things hoped for, the fine line between faith and foolishness. And this is, I always say to myself, faith is saying that God is going to bless me with a job,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go and put out what?
Application. You go apply for them jobs.
The foolishness is saying that
I see where
God is going to bless me with a job, but I'm just going to sit right here and wait for God to bring the job to me.
I'm gonna wait for it.
Now I'm still having faith in God that He's going to make a way out of no way. But the foolishness part is saying that I'm going to just sit back and wait for a job and knock on the door. But I got faith in God.
Because He got me. Yeah, He got you, but he don't.
Pam, come on, give me something, baby. Come on. So you have to have that activation behind that faith. The activation is the application
Yes, sir.
that you're applying for the job and saying that I'm going to put in the work and I'm going to allow God to work on my behalf and let my application go through. But the foolishness part is saying that I'm going to smoke weed all day, I'm going to eat cereal all day, and I'm going to wait for God to bring a job to my house. And when they say opportunity knocks, who is there? Job. Oh, come on, man. Job ain't going to come to your house. You got to go get the job.
You can bring a job to your house, but they ain't going to show up for you, bro.
Yeah. So you have people that literally is operating in foolish faith, saying that I want everything to go a certain way. I'm going to wait for God to do this thing, but I'm going to sit and wait for it to happen, but I'm not going to do anything to make it happen.
And I expect it to happen because I'm on it. No,
Or you got people who say they want to be a millionaire and they want to have a lot of money, but here's the kicker. They can't even balance their checkbook.
Or they only working 15 hours a week
and want to be rich. Or they're not willing to give up anything. We talk about a desire. You got to be willing
to give something to get something.
So if you're not willing to put in the time, effort, and resources to do what you need to do, then how can you say you want to be something when you're not equipped to be that?
You can aspire, but you can aspire, but because there's no real application, you can't.
And see, and then see, to me, faith is. I got crazy faith. To me, having faith in God is free falling without a backup plan, free falling without a parachute, because I believe that God is going to provide what I need. And every time I've put God to the test, He's always showed up and showed out. Anytime I put the word, to action, but like I say, having that activation is what causes your faith to grow. Now, everybody gets the faith, and then we go into the Bible, the size of a mustard seed. But Pam, after 20 years of having a mustard seed size faith, something is wrong when you become a baby Huey, meaning that you have grown body wise, but your brain is still the size of a mustard seed. So over a 20 year journey, that mustard seed size faith should have grown into a watermelon seed in 20 years, because every time you put God to the test and you put your faith to the test, that is your resume that this has been done, this has been done. And so your belief in God and your faith should grow every time you have been able to put it to the test and it has worked out on your behalf.
And this is, but and I agree, but this is where foolish faith comes in, because, and I don't want to sound like I'm being so pessimistic or just downplaying, but roughly half of the percent of people who have that faith or have that belief, they don't have the application. They don't have the application. So not the application not being there, they don't believe that the faith is real.
Well, that's true. And you have to take responsibility for your faith, which brings me to my next point, or I had to go scripture this chapter. Because you're talking about faith. In order to really understand faith as the way, spiritually, before you can even go secularly to the word, you got to go to the Bible first. And so we talked about Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. All right. So that not seen part brings me to 2 Corinthians, Pam, chapter 5, verse 7, where it says, we walk by faith and not by sight. Why is this important? The man that thought himself into business with Thomas Edison,
he did faith.
Yes, because if I look at what I see,
I ain't got nothing.
when you are a entrepreneur,
man,
the odds are against you. When you are trying to do something great in life, everybody is against you. The universe might be against you. So you have to walk by faith and not by the sight, because what I'm seeing
is not good.
Is not going to get me where I need to be. Yes, I have to go through what I can't see in order to get to my goal, because this guy didn't even have money for a train ticket.
And he still got on that
train.
He
jumped on the back of a train and bootlegged a ride, and he walked into Thomas Edison's office without no type of credentials, no kind of business card, and said that I'm going to be in business with you. And Thomas Edison looked at him and said, who are you? I'm your new business partner. I don't need a business partner.
Yes,
you do. Not right now, but you will. And he became a janitor in order to get to
a business
partner. So walking by sight, he would have been like, this ain't gonna happen.
He wouldn't even got on the train. If he walking by sight, he wouldn't even got on the train.
I'm gonna give you one better. How about the story where the kid was born without ears?
Oh yeah,
born without ears, but he still could hear
because his father walked by faith.
Walked by the faith that my son will hear and communicate.
Hold on, what did Denzel say? No.
I don't accept that. Yeah. So
I don't accept that.
You know what I'm talking about right now. So understanding that you can't operate off of everything you see. You have to have the faith to be able to, and then and so where do faith come from? Faith comes by hearing, Romans 10:17. So then faith comes by hearing, and by hearing the word of God. So what is this? This joker trying to call me. My brother. It ain't happening. You know the
Come
show.
up here, brother.
Yeah, he got to be on.
Here.
So listen. So if we understand that we walk by faith and not by sight. It's not what you see, but you have to be able to hear. So the young man was born without ears, but he had the faith. He could still hear because his father willed that into existence.
Yes, he did.
Spoken into existence. And so here's the thing. I said before 2020, the year 2020, everybody was like, oh, this is going to be the year of clear vision. 2020 is clear vision. The year 2020, we saw a lot. We saw things clear. But if you was, oh my God, if you was living based off what you seen, you would have missed the mark. Because faith comes by hearing. So you have to have 2020 hearing, because the ideal starts where?
In your mind.
And what you tell yourself is what you see, right? If you can't hear the voice of God in your life, then you ain't gonna be able to see nothing.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to see anything you desire.
So it's not the 2020 vision, it's the clear hearing. We walk by faith and not by sight. You don't walk by what you see, you walk by
what you believe in, what you hear.
Because you can take a blind man who can't see
and lead him to the left.
You can lead him by your voice, by telling him to take 2 steps.
Take 2 steps to the right, 2 steps forward, right face, you there.
So he can't even see. But if he got faith,
that you leading him in the right direction,
he can still function.
Right.
Understand that a business owner is already behind the 8 ball.
Every day. Every day.
People tell you, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do this. This ain't going to work. If I went by what I've seen, I would never be able to do anything. It's by what I hear. And when God says move, I have to move. And it's the vision that I see inside my mind is what I speak out my mouth. That's how you get to the kind of faith that you say, when we talked about, I think it might have been one of those episodes we had where I said, how many shots would you take if you knew you couldn't miss?
Yes, you would take every single last one.
How much more would you be doing, Pam, if you knew that you couldn't fail? How much more would you be doing if you knew that everything you touched turned to gold? In my mind, I'm taking every shot I got.
Half court.
I don't care. I'm in a parking lot taking shots. Like I don't care where I'm at, because I know that the shots I do take,
I'm going to make them.
Yeah, I don't plan on missing, bro.
I'm doing this. I'm shooting like this from here on out.
So one thing about it is you can take a bunch of pointless shots and just throw up anything, or you can take the shot that you know that's going in. And I ain't talking about the backboard, or I'm talking about nothing but net.
Swish.
I'm talking about number net. When God gives me something, He gives me a vision. He gives me a dream. He speaks a word to me. That right there, I'm taking a shot on that. When God called Peter off that boat to walk and said, "Come," he left everything he knew and went into what he didn't know because Jesus said, "Come," and he literally walked on the word of God. So when you got that kind of faith, it don't matter what the world say. It don't even matter what you see. It's what you hear and what your faith relies in.
And how you behave.
Yes.
You got it. And what I want us to make sure we drive home the fact that you can't have faith without your own accountability and action, man. That's all I'm trying to get in a nutshell. You can't have faith without your own accountability and action.
True. So your actions is so important to your faith that it's in the Bible more than once. James 2:17 says, "Even so, faith without works is dead, being alone." And then James 2:20 says, "But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead." If he got to say it twice,
come on now. And I didn't even know. But it was already induced and created inside of you.
So your actions activates your faith. If you say you want to do something, but you never make a move to do it, then how is it going to get done? If I want to read this book, and I put it under my pillow at night when I go to sleep, is the information going to be transferred from that book to my brain at night? What you call that? Is that osmosis? Is that?
I think osmosis and mitosis or
something where you.
But no, it's not. We humans don't get that. We don't get that, dog.
So that's the difference between faith and foolishness. Faith is saying that I want this to happen. I'm dreaming about it. I'm thinking about it. I'm speaking about it. But not only am I speaking about it, I'm walking it out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The foolishness says that I want this done, but I'm waiting on God to bring it to me so I can be some type of miracle.
But the thing is, you could be and please, people, understand. You can have real faith and still be a fool on some parts of the faith that you have too. You could be a little bit of both.
Oh yeah,
you could be a little bit of both. Hey, there are some things in me. Prime example. I want to get back on art. I haven't did nothing with my art until last week. How am I supposed to be getting better and learning a new program for artwork if I haven't even tried it? That's foolish faith. I would be good at my artwork like I am on paper, but I ain't do nothing for it. Come on, I can't expect nothing.
So understand that everything you do is a result of your thinking process.
Yes, sir.
You got thinking. You got these people who only think positively, and that's good.
But you gotta.
That's good. But you have to be realistic. You have to be practical.
Yes,
you
sir.
know, asking for something that you can't even handle.
Oh, keep going. I agree. I just got hyped. Keep going.
Why do you get? I want to
because we have over 40 to 50% of people saying they want to be millionaires when they don't even know how to manage a $5,000 bank account. That's
not even 5,000,
$500 bank account. You want to have this excess amount of money or this excess amount of whatever material, but you can't even properly manage what you currently have.
So you get to $1 million, your problems are going to be magnified. If you can't handle it on a smaller scale, you're not going to be able to handle it on a bigger scale.
And you know that circles back to this whole act as if you already had it.
And that's why we're doing these books. That's why we're doing these classes.
Oh,
because,
my goodness, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I told you that I want to be a motivational speaker. What am I doing to get to that? Go hit that button and ask and join her back in.
All right.
I think she had to end up. She might have got a phone call. Hit her name. It's right there in the top right hand corner.
Oh, okay.
And then it should be add.
Oh, yeah, I don't see it because it's not.
It should be add. What is it?
Yeah, no, I don't see
it. Don't worry about it. I thought it looked like you can get added back in.
I thought it had to come up as a request.
Well, okay. But anyway, so I'm going to be a motivational speaker, so I need to take some speech classes. Because I don't pronounce words all the way right sometimes. So that's my activation, being able to put myself in position to do that. But also walking it out. If all I do is motivate people every day, if all I do is have these conversations with these people every day and get people pumped up, then I'm already walking in what I'm trying to be. So it's not going to be foreign when they say, boom,
you are alive.
Or if I'm trying to become a millionaire, if I'm balancing my bank now, I'm trying to be prepared for the millions when they do come through my account, so it won't be a culture shock to what you're doing in your life.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
You have an aspiration of being a full-time trader.
Yes, sir.
every time I see you, you actually reading something or you doing some type of training because that's what you want to do.
Yes.
You have to get to that point. Let me see if I can help out.
Okay.
You have to get to that point
where you actually applying it. Yeah, that's
you have to get to that point where you're actually able to you gotta come back.
Okay.
You get on here. But you have to get to that point where you're actually comfortable, and it's all about being comfortable with the skin you're in, and being able to walk in your calling, walk in your anointing, walk in your purpose in life. If you're doing something and it's a struggle for you, then that means that you might need to adjust your way of thinking,
your lifestyle.
It's when I tell you that
your lifestyle,
that lifestyle changes are necessary for success. If I never take out time in my day to read material like this, then I can't say I'm on the right path. I can say, oh, I want this book in my brain by osmosis or whatever you call it. But if I don't take the time to say, I want to invest in my future, because see, and this is my thing, I don't use the word sacrifice.
Yeah, no.
Sacrifice means you got to give up something to get something.
And you don't want to give that up.
Something you don't want to give up.
Right.
Investment means that I'm going to willingly invest this because I know I'm going to get a return later. And the return is the lifestyle, the position, the authority, the knowledge, and everything.
Yes, sir.
That's what you invest into your life. You invest time to get. If you're trying to get money, you're going to get money.
Right.
If you invest time for knowledge, you're going to get knowledge. If you invest time in resources, you're going to get resources. So here's the thing. A man with $100,000 and a man with an 800 credit score with $0. Which one is more powerful?
Oh, you already know. I know the answer to that. It's that 800.
Why is that?
Because that 800 is going to allow you to get a line of credit over $1 million. Easy.
The $100,000 is going to be gone.
Oh, I'm sorry, $100,000. My bad.
$100,000 is going to be gone after you spend it.
Yes, sir. That line of credit.
But that 800 credit score allows you to go and get $100,000 from 10 different banks. And not only that, you got more resources because you can make this money work for you. So being able to be resourceful is more powerful than just having a bunch of money. Because we already know that money is not necessarily going to make you happy. You got a bunch of millionaires right now that's miserable. You got millionaires that's committing suicide.
Yeah.
Why is that? That's because their mental is not healthy. Being rich is not only financial; it's a state of mind. It's a mental thing. It's health. Health is wealth. Understand that whatever you want to do in life, you got to position yourself to be able to do that. If I want to be a millionaire, I need to get my body under control, my mind under control. Because if I got that million, Pam, if I got $1 million and I don't know what to do with it, the Bible say a fool and his money or what? The Bible says a fool and his money is soon what? Soon parted. So if you just got a bunch of money and you ain't got no sense,
it's out.
You got a bunch of dollars but no sense.
It's out the door.
You ain't about to do nothing but just, and that's why, and I don't want to go into another topic, but when we talking about, reparations without no education or without no nothing to cultivate, then it doesn't work.
Because it's going to go back where it came from.
If I gave you your dream right now, would you be mature to keep the dream alive?
You know what? No, not right now. No.
Because it's a progression.
No. Yeah,
it's a progression.
Yeah, no, I would not.
You are learning how. You're learning. And when you get to that point of, I know how to do this, then that's when all this stuff is going to come to fruition.
And that's when Yes,
The
sir.
guy that thought himself in the business with Thomas Edison, when he showed up the first day, he didn't have what it took.
But he stayed there, developed
But
it.
by him being inside that environment, Pam,
Mhm.
he listened to the terminology of the people around him and the millionaires that was in the room, and he picked up that and he learned. And then when he said, "Let me do this,"
I'm gonna show you.
he was able to do that because he had a maturity about himself. See, you can't get this from just talking a good game.
Yeah, no.
You got to be able to walk it.
Not if. Oh, no, I thought it was a video game. Not if. I didn't lost my train of thought.
Bring it back, baby.
Come on now. What was? Repeat what you just said for me.
I just said you got to be able to walk it out. It ain't. You just can't talk a good game. You got to be able to walk it out. And that's why you do these practices. You tell yourself every day that I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And you start believing it. You start doing it. And by the time it happens, you already.
It's repetition.
You're an expert at it.
It's repetition.
You're expert at it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But having that faith, man. Having that faith that even though you can't physically see it, you got faith it's going to happen because you're doing the work.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? The Bible says that God is not mocked. Whatever a man soweth into the ground, he must reap it as well.
Yeah.
So you can go the long way and just, ride a bunch of people coattail, or you can start, sowing seeds, start speaking things into existence and walking it out. And when the time comes for everything to line up, you already walking. It's like a normal.
It's a normal day. Yes, it's just like every other day at that point.
You know what I'm saying? And the reason why these millionaires and these motivational speakers, reason why they use these creeds, so much, is because they understand the power of words.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you an example. If we was created in the likeness and image of God, then we ought to be able to possess the same powers as God. If you believe. Right?
Right.
So having a power that God possessed, when God created the earth, he done it with his voice. Let there be light.
And there was light.
Let there be.
The water is splitting between the water. Yes,
He,
sir.
he created that with his voice. Here's the thing. Everything he created with his voice except for the man. He took the time out and he created the man from the dust of the earth, but he actually took time to create the man. Instead of doing it with his voice, he did it with his hand. And he created us in his likeness and image. So the reason why these creeds and these things are so important is because you have the power of life and death in your tongue. When you speak things into the atmosphere,
Yes, I
things
agree.
happen because
Yes,
you
sir.
was created with the power that God possesses. This is the thing. So when he created you, you were just laying on the ground.
Just a piece of it. Yeah.
Nothing happened until he breathed the breath of life into the man. And when he breathed the breath of life into the man, not only did he breathe the breath of life, he breathed his power into that man as well.
Yeah.
So that man got up off that ground and he started speaking things. Things started happening.
Yep.
So when you talk to yourself every day, when you speak into the atmosphere, you are creating the thing that you're wanting.
But I mean, it could even be put so much, because I agree wholeheartedly. It could be even put so much simpler. Look where you are right now.
No, Look where you are right
Oh,
a year ago, a year and a half ago.
a year ago, man.
When you start speaking this stuff, this is the results. Because you
Yes,
start
sir.
sowing the seed
Yes,
into the
sir.
ground, and after you sow a seed, it has to
I
harvest.
started and I'm basically as a normal stacking boxes, just stacking boxes. That's the action behind the word. Yes, sir.
And so I'm gonna just reference who are they?
Selena.
Who?
Selena.
Oh, I'm gonna reference something that Will Smith said about building a wall.
Oh, that perfect. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You don't intend to build a perfect wall. That might be impossible.
Mm-hmm.
But what you can control is if you lay one brick at a time,
Perfect.
the perfect as you can lay a brick at a time, every brick you lay perfect, eventually all those bricks are going to end up being a wall, and
Yes,
that
sir.
wall is perfect.
Yes, sir.
And just to go back what we said about practice earlier, it is a part of that book I highlighted right before the end of the folded pages. It says, it's talking about practice, and we all think that practice makes perfect. But when I was in school, I learned that practice don't make perfect. Perfect practice makes perfect. You have to practice a thing with perfection in order to get perfection out of it. Because you can practice something, Pam. You can practice something wrong 100 times, and guess what?
It could be permanently wrong instead of perfectly right.
Still wrong.
Yep.
We talked about my nephew was here a couple weeks ago. We talked about the mother that cooked the roast, and she cut the butt off the roast and put it in the oven.
Huh? Wait.
So because we are creatures of
Habit.
we follow in habits.
Yes.
We follow behind things that don't make sense, but because our mother did it, our grandmother did it,
We
doing
got to do it.
So the story of a little girl, she watched her mama cook a roast. The mama cut the roast off cut the butt off the roast, put it in the oven, and she said, "Why did you cut the butt off the roast?"
Mm-hmm.
She said, my mother taught me how to do that. And so she asked her grandmother, "Why did you cut the butt off the roast?"
Mm-hmm.
And the grandmother said, "Well, my mama told me that." So the she asked the great grandmother, "Why did you cut the butt off the roast?" And she said, "Because I didn't have a pan big enough for the roast. I had to cut the butt off of it. But just because you see me cut the butt,
we still using it
without any kind of explanation or any kind of education, you continue to cut that good meat off the butt of that roast without understanding the details and dynamics of
the reason why.
So if she thought that was a perfect roast, continuing on this cycle of cutting the butt off their roast is not gonna make that roast no more perfect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So you have to understand, okay, do I need to get a bigger pan?
That's all I needed. That's all you needed.
Do I need to get a different oven?
Does the heat have to be higher or lower?
What is the heat got to be set at? That's how you become perfected, by finding out how to be perfect, not just falling behind what this person did.
Oh, well, they did it, so it's all right. I mean, it's been working.
Because everybody who has a mentor, their mentor has a mentor. Mm-hmm. And their mentor has a mentor. You have to find out, okay, what are you going to him for? What are your flaws? So I can figure out how to fix those flaws and find out what he's doing wrong. So everybody can be from you on.
Passed down a different. Yes, sir. And then that person is going to take that other person's flaws. What did you learn? And it will become a chain of command almost.
I don't know how long we going. 48 minutes. I got a couple more points to make, then I'm going to get out your hair because I know we got work to do around here. We don't just sit around. We actually get work done.
I do not.
The only thing, and this is one of the things in the book, it says faith is the starting point of all accumulation of riches. Faith. It's got to start somewhere, Pam. Pam, we had to be at a position of saying, we said before in chapter 2, that it's not enough of saying, I want to be rich. You got to put a dollar amount on how much money I want to make. And then, Pam, you have to write down the steps it's going to take to get to that dollar amount and find out what you're willing to give up to get to that dollar amount. If it's you giving up sleep, you giving up shopping, you giving up time,
Yeah.
but you got to have a plan on what you're willing to give up, how many times a week, how many times a day to equal to what I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So before you can be rich, faith is the starting point.
Yes, sir.
I have the faith that I'm going to be rich, but not just in a monetary fashion, but in the wealth and health, all of that. I want to be
Wealth, health, and
spiritually
community,
rich. I want to be physically rich. I want to be financially rich. I want to be able to be rich that I can bless anybody who come in contact with me. The Bible says that I will open up the floodgates of heaven and pour you out a blessing that you don't have room to receive. I'm trying to be a generational wealth for not just my family, but for my great grandfamily down the road.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
You know, me connecting with people like Pam. This is my first cousin here.
What?
Being able to impact her life. You know what I'm saying? I told you already that my happiness comes into
From others.
making other people happy and making other people successful. That's what we're on. That's the richness in my mind. And it starts with faith. And I'm going to end on this. And we're going to do final thoughts, Pam. Final thoughts, Tommy. Your greatest weakness in life is the lack of self-confidence.
Your greatest what?
Greatest weakness is the lack of
Oh,
self-confidence.
Yes. Oh, that.
Some people
Oh
call
my
it being
God.
conceited. Some people call it being arrogant. You know what I'm saying? But if you got faith in God, for one, if you got faith in God, that confidence is off the Richter scale.
Yes, sir. Because you already know you're going to be able to accomplish it.
If you got faith in God, you can take a shot and say, I know I'm going to make it every time I
You ain't
go.
going to even look at it. You just going to look at me while you shoot the ball.
Let's shoot that shot that LeBron James made. He shot the ball and turned around and looked at the crowd. He knew it. Some people say, oh, he arrogant. That's confidence because you have practiced. You have studied. You have faith in God. You got faith in yourself.
He stacked them bricks, brother.
When you throw that shot up, you ain't got to pay him. You ain't got to watch it fall. You just walk away and go to the end of the court and say, that's already in the bag.
Game. That's game, baby. That's
how you know you're in the right place when you can make that shot without even looking at it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What would you do if you knew that every shot you made, it's not going to have a problem with it?
Oh, my goodness.
If you're going to make every shot, how many more shots would you take?
You better say all of them. You better say all of them.
That's how you know when you know. That's not arrogance. That's self-confidence, and that's faith in God that I have given you the ability to do this. You are the head and not the tail. You are above and not beneath. You are a lender and not a borrower. There's a greater responsibility when you are a lender. Because we've been on the begging end for a long doggone time.
We ain't never been in a position of power or limit.
But when you are in a position of being a leader, a lender, there's a greater responsibility. You have to understand that too much is given, much is required.
Yeah, much is required. Yep.
So having the faith in God gives you the ability to have the confidence in what you're doing, knowing that I don't expect to miss because every time I shoot a shot, whether it's good or not, some kind of way, I got faith that the ball gonna be redirected
and it's gonna go
mid-flight,
and it's gonna go in,
and it's gonna go in nothing but net every single time I shoot it. But I know my position, and I know what's a bad shot and what's a good shot. I know faith versus foolishness.
And there's you
gotta know the difference.
It's a thin line, but
because you can set yourself up for failure by having some extreme foolishness going on, or you can set up for success by having the right plan, the discipline, the faith that we all need in order to get your dreams accomplished. And when you know what you know, you ain't got to have nobody to validate you. You already know what you know.
Yep, that's a fact.
And I'm going to end it right there. Pam, any final thoughts for you, ma'am?
I just had a thought that
Let me hear it.
wanted to step out of faith. We have to renew our
That's awesome.
It's like a lot of times fear
Mm.
is the thing that can stagnate your faith as well. It's like fear is just a great factor, I can say. That sometimes it's like a thing with me. A lot of times you know what you want to do and you know how to do it, but then fear will keep you,
Mm-hmm.
and it will keep you from doing what you know you can do.
Well, you know, you know,
We have something fear takes away.
Yeah, but fear. And I agree because that fear takes over your confidence, which makes you lack it.
fear. If I had to say something about fear, fear is the antidote to faith. Fear is the opposite of faith. Fear is that thing that will paralyze
Yeah,
you
yeah,
more than a poisonous snake.
yeah.
Fear is that paralyzation from a lion's roar that will have your body seized and scared to make a move because you're scared to
Wide eyed and mouth drop. the literally feared, wide eyed and mouth drop.
fear will paralyze any hope or any faith
Mhm.
that you may possess, and it only comes from the self negative talk, that stinking thinking. Because this is the thing: when you have that faith, fear doesn't exist. When I told you that extreme fear is getting into that airplane and jumping out that plane without a parachute
Mhm.
and saying that I trust God is just gonna make something happen before I hit this ground, and God say, trust me. And a lot of time we look at our problems and we say, why me, God? And you should be looking at God as saying, try me. Because God look at you saying, why not you? I've already calculated. Come on, we can go to church right now. I've already calculated what you're about to go through, and I said that you can handle it. All you gotta do is let go of the fear and let me smooth you through this thing.
Mm-hmm.
When you take your mind off the problems and put your mind on the promise, then you ain't got to worry about failing. Because even when you lose, you win, baby.
Even in a practical sense, brother, you take your mind off the problem and you focus on the solution. The problems that you go through are lighter.
Even when you lose, you
practical.
win. Because the Bible says that all things work for the good of those who are called, who love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose. All things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is the thing, Pam, I want to challenge you. This is challenge time. I want to challenge you. If your success or your goals are considered touchdowns and you're scared that you're not going to score a touchdown, then understand, if you watch football as much as I do, 2 field goals equal a touchdown. Field goals are points. Put a point on the board no matter whether it's a field goal.
Or get a safety.
Get you a field goal on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Get some points on the board. You have to celebrate small victories. If your task or your goal is intimidating and you say, I can't handle the whole thing, then celebrate it in small chunks.
Brick it.
Do something small that's leading towards your goal. Do you a 5-yard run, a 10-yard pass, a 15-yard run, a 2-yard pass. All those yards add up. And you say, I'm too far to score a touchdown, but I can kick the heck out of this ball. Kick a field goal. And 2 times equals 6 points. That's a touchdown. You can still win with the small victory.
Yeah.
Just don't leave no points out there. Put a point on the board.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Don't let the sun set on you before you do something toward your goal. If you standing still, you're not going forward. But if you take one step, you're closer than you were before.
I need you to write that down.
What?
Don't let the sun set on you. whatever that was, that's a quote.
You have to go back and rewind the tape, baby. I don't know what I just said.
That's a real quote. That's a real. Don't let the
sun set on you before you do something to make it toward your goal.
Yes.
You have to do something. I don't care if it's one thing. Do one thing today to you. You do one thing today that's going to be one thing closer to your goal. I don't care what it is, a phone call, a text message, an internet search, a note, something. Do one thing. And if you do one thing every day, you get a checklist done. After the checklist is done, you ought to be right there at your destination.
Those are the field goals.
You already know Rome was not built in a day. It took a minute to build Rome. But you got to make one brick at a time. You got to lay one brick at a time, take one step at a time in order to get to your destination.
Yes, sir.
Final thoughts, brother.
That we bantered on my final thoughts. I'm good. I'm good. I love using the last segment of my final thoughts for pure and utter banter because of how good of a conversation you know what I'm saying? How good of it leads to. So, all in all, like I said, I'm about to do this myself. I am going to do one thing. I have been, but I'm gonna continue to. I'm going to do one thing that is going to get me to be a better artist, a better trader, a better streamer, every single day. And doing that, I expect to be. I know I'm going to be where I want to be, and I have a specific date, December 20th, 2021. That is my date.
2021.
Yes, sir.
December 20th.
December 20th, 2021. I should be able to have a residual bank account for trading. I got to give you my 6 steps. I got them written down. I got them written down on my iPad.
I'm waiting on them. I need them.
Yeah.
I need you to send me, Pam, send me your goals, what you plan on doing with the next 12, 24, 36 month goals. Send that to me so I can write them down. I'm going to be holding you personally accountable for what you're doing with every day. And I need you to give me some steps you're going to take to get to it. If you're in chapter 2 right now, you should know the 6 steps that it takes to get to your goal. I just need you to write those down and have them sent to me because we're going to be working on those things together. But look, this is where we are.
Yes, sir.
So it's personal accountability. And it's been able to see those things that you that's not here, but call it as if it were. Walk into your greatness, take the proper steps for you to be great. And when you are at that point of success, don't apologize for your confidence.
Hey,
don't let nobody, make you feel bad for being confident, because your confidence don't come from yourself. It comes from your faith in God. He gives you that ability to be confident because he's saying that, put all your burdens on me. I'll take care of them. All you got to do is have the work, the faith to put into the work that you're doing. And he's going to make that load a whole lot lighter than what you have if you're on your own.
Look, man, that just, this is why I love banter, brother. When you just said the don't let nobody, he's there. And then the work you put in, you fought tooth and nail, sweated for it, and probably even shedded blood over it. There is no reason why somebody should bring your confidence down after you did all of that work.
It's called self-confidence because it's confidence that you get self. So if somebody else can change that, then
your confidence wasn't rooted in yourself from the beginning.
So look, we have been here an hour. Look, I do apologize for the little inconsistencies with the going back and forth and all that.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
But look, y'all have a wonderful day. This your boy Daniel Lyndon Evans signing out. This has been your weekly Wisdom Wednesday. We're gonna be doing this every Wednesday between 9:30 and 10, just to give you a little pick me up or a little nugget to start your day. I know most of y'all are already at work, and we gotta get to work as well. Pam, I love you. I'll be talking to you soon. Anything you need from me, you can reach out to me. I'm here for you on this journey, and we're gonna make this thing happen today. So y'all have a blessed day. This your boy signing out.
All right. Let me go ahead.